Hey, it's Nicola, and welcome to another administration video of Jira. And more permissions are actually in this video, and it's all about the issue permissions. So recently, the very first issue permission that we see here are the archive issues, and this was introduced by the Atlassian recently, where you have the option to archive the issues, because deleting the issues is not really a good practice. A good practice and a better practice is to archive the issues. And when you archive those issues, you can return them at any time. When you delete your issues, there is no turning back. Okay, so on the left side, I have my, let's say, like my main account where my project role is the administrator. On the right side, I have the user with the member project role. And the thing is, for this user, if I want to go ahead and archive this issue, I cannot actually do this because I don't have the permissions. So I'm going to change this, and I'm gonna go for the archive issues. I'm gonna update. I'm gonna go for the project role. I'm gonna go for the member, and yeah, this is something that I have. So now I'm going to refresh this, and now if I go for the three dots, remove from the sprint, seems like I'm not able to still archive this issue, and I don't know why. Okay, let me try with this one. Okay, it's saying project pages in here and everything else. Okay, I see what's the deal here. So if I go for this project in here, as you can see, there was this option that you would actually see the archived issues in here, but the archived issues are not being shown here. So I don't know why Atlassian has left this to actually be here. If you cannot archive the issues, even though there are there is the permission here. I don't know why it was left to be there. Moving on, assignable user. So assignable user, so there is a difference between to assign the issues and assignable user. Assignable user actually means that if this user, okay, so now it's saying any logged in user can actually be an assignable user, okay, but if I actually change this, if I remove and if I say this is not gonna be for the any logged in user, and what else I'm going to do here is if I go for the project role and if I actually change this to be administrators, now what happens? If I actually try to assign this to me, it is not going to work, and it's going to say that this user cannot be assigned any of the issues. But if I go ahead and change this and then I say member, all right, so I added this user to be a member and I just want to assign this to me, now this is going to work and I can assign issues to myself. And if I go back here, all right, and if I assign the issue to this user as well, it is also going to work. So that is something that we have in here. Okay, and of course you have to refresh to see the changes in here, and it actually works. Assign issues. Actually, this assign issues means that basically in here by default it's saying any logged in user actually means um, that you can assign the issues. So that means when you click here and when you go for the assignee field, that means that you can actually change this assignee field. And as you can see, it is showing me the drop down. But what happens if I remove this any logged in user? I change this to be the administrators, and actually I update this. Okay, so now what is it going to happen for this user? So if I try to actually do the assignee, and it's going to say assignee cannot be edited. So actually this means I cannot change this at all. But of course, if I go ahead and if I change this for the member, now I can actually assign this. All right, so closing the issues. Okay, so the closing the issues, what actually this means? This means changing the resolution field. And when I mean like changing the resolution field, there are like two ways where you can actually change the resolution field. One is based on the screen that you add to your specific workflow, and when you add within specific your workflow for the done statuses, you're going to say that within that you want to add the screen that is going to have the resolution field included in there, so the users are going to be prompted to choose their resolutions. That's one thing. And the second thing is actually to add a post function to your workflow for the resolutions to actually be changed. So, and the closing of the issues is dependent on two permissions. The first permission is going to be transition of the issue, and the second one is going to be resolve of the issues. And actually, this is really good when you have your QA engineers within the project, because when there is some bug that there actually is defined, and when developers are applying the fix to it, they can set the resolution of fixed. So it means every issue is considered to be not done until the issue is in the done status, category, and also when the specific resolution has been set. Now the thing is, resolution doesn't necessarily have to be in as a positive matter. It can be either rejected, it could be like errors or things like that, but the resolution can still apply. So when there is something you don't want to work on, you're not going to delete that issue. Definitely not. You're not going to archive it. You're just gonna move it to the done status category and just going to say rejected or something like that. So the thing is, what happens in here, so if I try to close the issue, right? So first of all, I'm going to remove this any logged in user. That's one thing. And now I'm selecting done, and the thing is the resolution has been added, but it's saying you cannot edit the resolution field. That's one of the things that are actually happening in here. So, and I can say, you know what, only one who can close the issues is the administrator themselves. And I cannot actually change this at all. I cannot do basically anything with it. So there is another thing that I'm going to be applying in here for this specific workflow. I'm gonna say that within workflow for this issue. Alright, so I'm going to edit it, and it's using the simplified workflow, which is fine. I'm gonna go for my diagram, and for the done, I'm going to say for the screens, I wanna add the resolve issue screen, and I'm going to say publish the draft. I don't want to say the copy, which is actually okay. I changed the workflow here. Now what happens is when I make this, and it's gonna ask me what is going to be the resolution, and if I try to do that as well, it's not gonna ask me what the resolution is going to be. So it's skipping that part. Okay, it's skipping that part where I need to choose the resolution. That's the thing. And I can see now it's going to be like this. So now if I update the permission, and if I say the project role is going to be applied to the member as well, so when I go here, now it's gonna pop up the screen. It's gonna ask me what is going to be the resolution. I'm going to say not to do, and I'm going to say done. Okay, but this is actually something in here. This is a different thing. Okay, even though it has been set for the resolution to be chosen, it's still saying, you know what, it's not here. But the thing is, what actually happens in here, the resolution, it has been removed when you move it from the done column, and when you actually move it back. So when I want to go to done column again, it's gonna ask me for the resolution once more, and it's gonna say, yeah, I can say like declined or something like that, but it's still gonna setting it to done. But what happens when I go back, it's not streaking through anymore. Okay, so for setting that resolution, that also needs to be fixed. Moving on with the another most important permission in here when it comes to the issues is ability to create the issues. Now it's saying in here any logged in user. It's actually bad practice to have any logged in user to be able to create the issues within your project. You actually want to limit this to your specific project roles. So of course what happens, you guessed it right. So if I go here, I go for the administrators, so only the administrators can actually create issues. What happens? You cannot create issues in this project because I don't have the permission for that. If I go for the member and I update this and I go again, it's gonna let me now. It's really simple. Delete the issues. When it comes to deleting the issues, this means this is like ability to delete all of the issues within the specific project. And yeah, it's a good idea to have your administrators be able to delete the issues, but then again, once again, I'm actually saying, and the Atlassian has actually said that this is a bad practice of deleting your issues, because you're gonna be losing all of the data that is within that issue. And imagine if that issue had some subtasks in there, that would be deleted as well. So that is something you do not want to do. To create the issues, also one thing that I wanted to mention is when you have this permission also allows you to create the subtasks, of course, if the subtasks are enabled within your specific project. So that's the idea. Edit of the issues. Now when it comes to the editing of the issues, this is like changing the summary field, this is changing like the description field, this is changing like all of those specific issues, and it's now saying any logged in user. I don't really want to actually do this, because this means that, let's say, if you have some of the issues that were created by managers, uh, yeah, good. The better thing for it would be to have their own separate board that they can actually work on, and also that they can actually share this with the other managers, so the board is not going to be visible to developers at all. That would be the ideal solution, right? But let's say if that is not the case and everyone for some reason is working one board, right? And if the project role of, let's say, developers and the project managers have this delete issues permission, that would mean that they would delete each other's issues, and it would actually cause the chaos. Editing of the issues, it will cause the chaos. So what is it going to happen here? So if I say any logged in user, I delete this, and for the editing of the issues, I add this for the administrators. Now what happens? So if I try to edit the description, I cannot do it. Okay, naming of the issue change. Yep, we couldn't save issue summary. And it's saying check your connection, then give it another try. That is not the actual error, because it doesn't really work like that. So as you can see, I cannot change anything in here, literally. And if I try to convert this to subtask, and it's going to say access is denied, you cannot actually do this. Yes, the editing of the issues also allows you to convert your issues into subtasks. So that is another permission that is given to you. But the thing is, let's say for the commenting, I can comment. That is a different permission. It doesn't go with editing the issues. It means when the issue has been created, to already edit these things. So I cannot edit this, I cannot edit the priority, I cannot, yeah, for the story points, let's say 20 story points, I cannot actually do it because it's saying validation failed. So I cannot do any of these changes. And when I try to go with the team, it opens, then closes. So I cannot do any of those changes. But when I go for the project role, when I assign this to the member, when I go for the issue, when I want to add description, I can actually do this. Issue changed. See, it's not the connection is not the problem here. I can change the priority now. I can change the story points. So I can do all of these things. I can change the team. I can do anything that I want here. So that is when it comes to editing all the issues. Moving on, linking the issues. So this is like you can link the issues within one specific project, or you can even link the issues across the projects. So what happens in here? So I'm gonna remove any logged in user in here, and if I try, okay, so there is no even like option to link the issues. Okay, so I cannot do this. There's no point. Yeah, I cannot even choose that. But what happens is if I go for the project role and add the member, and what happens is I get this thing right here. So without the linking of the issues, this icon disappears. And I can say link the issue, and I can say this issue relates to the issue that is actually in here. And boom, there you go. So I created the link issues. Modify the reporter. So this is changing the reporter field. And this is when this is specific when the issues are being made on behalf of someone else. Just like in the Jira Service Management project, when you have that option to request the to raise a request on behalf of someone when you go to your customer portal. The thing is, you cannot actually delete that field because that field is, first of all, it's system field that cannot be deleted. It's hard coded, and also it's required to be there. All right, and to modify this, the thing is, I can actually do this as an admin, right? Reporter, I can say, you know what, someone else is a reporter. Field demo bot is a reporter, and I can see the changes that were actually being made. But if I want to go here, and if I want to change the reporter, it's saying reporter cannot be edited. Maybe it's a good thing for the administrators to actually have this project role instead of anyone else. All right, so moving on the issues. Oh yeah, one more thing when it comes to editing of the issues. Let me see here. So the thing is, what I can actually do here is I can convert this to a subtask. And I'm going to say select an issue in here, and I'm going to say, you know what, this is gonna be the issue 4, for example. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go and say finish. So this is before the conversion and after the conversion itself. And now there you have it, issue 1. And for that I also have the subtasks in here. And as you can see, it's like creating this this different lane, if I can call that. Yes, that is because it created the swim lane in here, and it's selecting the methods of the stories. I cannot change this because I'm not the board administrator in here, so I cannot do this. I cannot change this. But if you're actually wondering why this was separated from this, it's because it is having this subtask within this story, and that's why it got separated. All right, so when it comes to moving of the issues, it's moving the issues from project to project. Now, when it comes to that, so the source project needs to have the move issues permission. So that is one thing, and the project where you're actually having what is your destination, the user needs to have create issues permission in order for moving of the issues to be successful. So that is the thing. And in here, it's like this very bad practice to have this any logged in user. I don't want any logged in user to be able to move my issues. That would be really bad. This is something that I don't want. As you can see, moving option is not available here. But if I go and say, you know, for the project role of member, Oh, now what is it going to happen? It's going to say move. Okay, and if I go here and if I say move, and it's gonna ask me, okay, select this project, and this is the current project and the new project. And also what you can also do is you can also choose the issue type that you actually want to move from. Okay, so I want to move this to the mobile dev. I want to make this to be I want this to be like differently, you know. And it's saying you don't have access to this issue. Yes, I don't have the access to that issue because that issue actually has been moved. It's not even here anymore. Okay, and there you go. They have a create permission for. That was the thing that I was telling you. And now resolve the issues. And saying ability to resolve and to reopen the issues. This includes the ability to set a fixed version. So this is something that resolve issues even includes now. So it's now saying any logged in user. So that means that for here, and it's now saying that I can set the fixed version in here. Yes, I can set the fixed version in here, but the thing is, I don't have any versions that are actually set up, so I cannot really make make the changes, right? So I would go to releases here. I would create a version, and I would say version 1, for example. I would save it. All right. Also, I would like release it. Sure. Create release notes. I don't want that. So here, I go back to issue. Something is happening. So, first of all, it's saying any logged in user. No match is found for the fixed versions. Huh, that's weird. Because I have that already set up. Let me check this quickly. 1 sec. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, 1.0. Let me go back here. No, I don't want to reorder the issue. It won't open to me. What? Okay. Something seems to be... Okay, it's kind of lagging. Fixed versions. Boom, there we go. Okay. And this is for any logged in user. You know what? I don't want this to be for any logged in user. I want to remove any logged in user. Okay, so I'm gonna say issue 4. And when I go for the issue 4, I put it here. It's gonna say to me what is going to be the resolution. I'm going to say it doesn't really matter that much. And I'm missing the fixed version field here because I don't have the permissions. Okay. Scheduling of the issues. Alright, so the scheduling of the issues is usually, well, first of all, it lets you to set the due date on your issue. And the another thing is the scheduling of the issue is when you want to rank the issues within your project. But as a prerequisite, you want to make sure that you have your issue ranking turned on. If you don't have your issue ranking turned on, and even if you have the schedule issues and edit issues, those two, even if you have those permissions for those issues, it's not gonna work. Okay, so if I go here, first what I'm going to check is for the issue ranking. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. It's gonna say issue rank on the board, and it's saying on. That's fine. Okay, scheduling of the issues. Now it's saying any logged in user. No, I don't want that. So that means I want to be able to do this. What is it saying? You don't have to permission to rank the issue. And it's saying you must have the schedule issue permission on those issues. So what happens now? Is there any error? No. Great. Set issue security. We're almost done. Okay. Set issue security. So when you want to limit the issues to be seen by certain people, certain role, not individual users. I don't know why Atlassian is not deleting that options. Nothing goes to the individual user. This means that when you want to set the issue security, this means that you're going to have this permission. First, you need to have your issue security scheme set up. Second, that issue security scheme needs to be applied to that project with its own security levels. And within those security levels, you're defining the project roles that are going to have the access to that specific issue. When you're defining all of that, and even though you have set all of those things up, but still you cannot set the issue security in here, this actually means that you don't have the permissions for it, and you don't have the issue security level. So if I do this, now what is going to happen? So first of all, it's still not here. And if I try, so the thing is, now what I have to do is I need to go here, issue security schemes, SecOps issues, team restriction. Okay, engineering, Scrum. And I'm going to say security levels. I'm going to say members only. I'm going to say add. And I'm going to say project role member add. That's it. The another thing is I'm going to go back to my project here. Get to my project settings. Within my project settings, gonna go to issues, gonna go to the security, go here, select a scheme. It's gonna ask me which scheme. I'm going to say engineering Scrum. Associate, acknowledge. Good. So now I have the issue security scheme added in here. That's one thing. And the another thing is for the member, when I want to create, it's gonna allow me to select the security level. I'm gonna say members only. I'm gonna say secret. It's not being seen. Why? Because it hasn't been added to the sprint, to the active sprint. It's in the backlog. And in order for this issue to be seen, it needs to be moved from the backlog to the active sprint, but also it's going to cause the scope creep and the change of the scope and in the change of your reports. And as you can see, security level, members only. Transition of the issues, this actually means ability to transition issues. What this is to change the statuses from one status to the another status, and basically that is it. Restore archived issues, this is not relevant yet because this option for archiving of the issues is somehow removed, but this is the ability who can actually restore these archived issues, and I would recommend this for definitely to be administrators, for them only to be able to restore these restore the issues back. Okay, so that is everything that you needed to know about the issue permissions. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel as well. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.